What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Russell Journal. My name is Russell, and this is my journal entry for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Getting better at saying that stuff all the time. As you can see from behind me, the market's still open. I'm kind of wanting to get these. I don't trade power hour, so I'm kind of wanting to get these videos done before and get them out and sort of go over my trading. Today was an interesting day. We were fraught with danger. I don't know if you know this, but I have been called Danger Russ before. I made a very, very stupid trade going into the morning, right into Powell's speech, where this was my first trade of the day. We got this big green candle up here, got the pullback here. I went long into that and really pretty much screwed myself. Before I knew it, we were all the way down here. I'm $600 in the hole as far as I'm concerned. I'm really not happy about it. Hold on one second. I don't know why this is doing this like this. Why you got to do me like that? Okay. But I don't let it get to me. I roll it. And I roll my mindset and I start looking for my setup. And sure enough, here on the 15-minute chart, came back into the oversold. And then off of this. So what happened here is on a break here, I got short, held all the way into oversold, took my profit. Well, I stopped out for a gain here of about $100 and almost $200 win on this move down. Then I rolled over. We came off of that, went long into this, and caught the move from about the bottom of this candle up into here. I moved my stop loss to take profit, and that I put another $200 away in there. And then I made about another $20 on another trade that I stopped out of before it was able to go. I was getting close to power hour there. So of the 4 trades I took today, 1 was just an absolute bludgeoning. 2 were very nice recovery. It's something that I think is very interesting, and I feel or believe that it shows growth is that I could take a loss, I could do something stupid, and then I could just get right back with the program. And it was very stupid. And honestly, this move actually happened so quickly that I was so far down on those contracts before I even knew it. I was literally buying them into what I thought was a pullback and turned out to be a falling knife. And it got me. And so, but again, like I said, I didn't let it phase me. I got some decent recovery out of it and was able to turn things around a bit as far as the day goes. And so really happy about that. Now I'm going to look at this chart. We're going to talk about SPY, and then we'll go into a couple of the options charts. I did put some markings on there to show you kind of what I did and review those trades a lot more from an in-depth perspective. Okay. So that being said, you can look at this chart right here, and there's 2 things that are very, very clear from this chart. The first one is that I believe Jerome Powell is getting laid on the regular. It would seem as though that he's really so carefree. He doesn't really care what he doesn't really seem to care what the market does. So I'm assuming he's getting some action from whatever source he likes, whatever his preference is. And he really, if you watched his speech today, just very nonchalant about, doing more. We're going to do more raises, probably, blah, 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 blah. The dude clearly don't give a fuck. Okay, we're going to look at that. Where are we? 4:15:11 is where we ended. So that's the first thing. The second thing that was very clear about this chart is that no matter what Powell says, the market don't give a fuck about what Powell says anymore either. That is, if there's two things you can take away from this, if I was a bear at this point, right? If I was bearish on this market, I would have to concede that this market does not give a shit what the economic factors are. That the market seems to think inflation is coming down. You're near the peak of interest rates, so you'll start to see those coming down. Really, and that's going to turn into a good economic situation. Unemployment is low, and so you really the whole recession narrative gets really trampled under 500,000 jobs created in January. Right, January is a slow month, so you really are looking at a situation where if the market is trying to fake you out, they are doing a very, very good job. They really are. It is they have got everybody convinced that everything will be okay. So that is really where you are with that sort of thing, and so and again, you can break up here now, above 415, 420s open, above 420, 40, 480 becomes, you got 40-30 and 40-40 and 40-60 is a really tough one. And I know, and from there to 40-80, you've now in the range of a potential all-time highs with with today's move. Now, it doesn't mean there's not going to be any pullbacks or it's going to go a straight line up there. It's not, but as far as market talk goes, if I'm a bear, I'm taking it in. I'm gonna pack it up, and if I'm not, I'm gonna join the bulls. So that's what my thought process would be on that, is that, the easy money's to the upside. You don't have, look, man, anybody who is an investor who is going to dump this market to duck the winds, or not even buy this market, they left last year. And now this year, those investors that held, they held because they had to hold. They held because when they bought more because they had to buy more, and they didn't sell because they couldn't sell, either for tax purposes or because they're building it and they're not ready to retire or whatever. So the big money running out of this market is gone. And you never really broke below 2020's lows, so you're really still looking pretty good as far as the halfway. You're getting halfway. You'll be halfway through the decade before you know it, and you'll be above the 2020 lows. So if your time horizon's 5 or 10 years, things are still looking pretty good for you and for business in general. And the whole apocalypse that they keep telling us is coming is maybe it's not, So anyway, now none of that says it. That's just sort of stuff about market sentiment and things of that nature. But as far as trading goes, this was a weird one. It's been a tough chart to trade. This move happened just right as Powell took the stage. That move happened. And then these are 15-minute candles, by the way. So each of them 15 minutes, about a half hour into that, you get the sell-off, and then you just get this monster recovery. So it was very, very interesting day, very interesting price action. And like I said, Powell didn't, it was not Jackson Hole. He was very laid back. And if you call it dovish, then it's dovish. It was very dovish. So I don't think Powell cares about the wealth effect anymore. For a while, I thought he did. I thought he was worried about it, and he may be worried about it again if we start to see inflation tick up. Then he may start to flex a little bit. But I really don't think he's going to be that. I don't think he's that dovish or that hawkish anymore. He might just be neutral. He might be bird dogging it. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Why can't I go over there? For some reason, it will not let me onto my other monitor. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to dive that down. I'm going to turn off this one. And I'm going to turn on this one. No, not that one. I'm going to turn on this one. Okay, how come that's not coming up? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get this for you. Oh, because I turned it off. All right. Okay, so now okay. So you can see the options chart behind me. This rise right here, this big spike up is into the Powell thing. I went long into it right here, and it came all the way down here. I actually bought in at about 50 cents, and I had to sell out at roughly, I'd sold out at 2 cents. So I lost $480 in that one move. That was a very stupid thing to do. It was very dumb to do, and the 416 is really not my cup of tea today. What did happen is we got this kind of recovery starting to happen here. Once we broke above 413, we started to see some action back in the 416 calls again. And what happened here is you broke above this level and you came back and tested it. And on the retest of this level down here, sorry, this is all the way down here. I might be able to move it up for you. Let me see if I can make this go do a thing. There we go. Bring it up here. Okay. So you can see this is very interesting price action here on the chart. Get into here. Get the break above here. I move my stop loss on the break above, right? So I come into this pullback right here. I ride up to here. Once we get the break above this, I move my stop loss to that resistance level. And it stops me out. I'm up about 2 cents per share. So that's about a 20-cent win or $20 win as far as my 10 contracts go. That really hurts because you had the big move happen after that, but you were getting into power hour here. I make it a principle to try and not have positions into power hour. Had this happened more in this area, I probably would have held and tried to ride that trade out, but it didn't. So that was that. Now the next one I'm going to do, these are the two real big winners that I had from today. Let me pull this up. This one was a very interesting one, and it would have been better than it was. Right in here, and it did save all my stuff. So I started playing the 413s. I did make a real nasty. It was a bludgeoning, really, to my account. I mean, it blew it up. Okay. Bring this up. Here we go. All right. So I marked this off very, very well. And because this particular trade, I wanted to show you guys really what I was doing as far as this trade goes. I really wanted to be able to go over this pretty in depth. This trade here is my ideal trade. I would have very much so liked to have ridden as much of this as possible. I'm going to try and make this chart bigger so we can really see what's going on here on the chart. Okay. Squeeze this together. This is an ideal trade setup for me. And there's some things about this that I kick myself for doing. Okay. So how does that look over there? That looks like crap. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix this. Why is that like that? Well, my dreams of that are fading, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing to show the way I want it to show. Okay, there we go. We're going to shrink it. There we go. I thought this would be easier. I thought it would just be like the last one. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just not the same. And this is a tough one for me because I'm trying to have a habit of not chasing these things. Okay. All right. How's that look? All right. So here you go. All right. So we come in and you're in this breakout setup, and I come in right into this candle here for the breakup here. I ride it on this big move up. And then what happens here is I actually once we get this big candle up, I set my stop loss right here under this wick, okay? At the point this candle opens up and stays above this wick, we break above. And then what happened here is I moved my stop loss to this point. We broke above the top of this candle. So I moved my stop loss up above this little doji candle. We break above, and those rat bastards pulled back and grabbed my stop loss right there. They came back just to get that thing. And then you can see we have this just huge explosive move. So I need to get a little tighter with my stops. Although this is one example of where this happens to me 1 in 10 trades. In the other 9 trades, this is as high as this goes. I stop out for a good profit. Okay. However, and then even furthermore, you get this move into here. And if you look, the pullback from here, right? If I'm moving my stop loss, the most I'm probably going to capture is the top of that candle right there, because that's where I would have moved. I would have moved my stop loss to here, come up, pull back, get over it. I'd move my stop loss to there, right? And then we pull back. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is typically the end of that trade. And then now what would typically happen is this setup right here. First of all, this isn't a setup to me. Right here, this moves a little more into a setup as far as this goes. But at this point, the premiums are so high, I can just move my option, my strike out into a cheaper contract and probably make roughly the same money. The only way to have done this is to diamond hand this all the way through the move up. And this did get up over like $2 or $3. This would have been a $3,000 win had I been able to capture any of that. I don't know how to do it. I haven't successfully pulled that off yet. I feel or believe that is going to happen. Overall, this pattern typically is indicative that whatever you're trading is over. This whole thing at the end is bonkers. Like you can't trade on that, right? That's not even like a true breakout, right? You catch this little wedge down here and then rock it up like that. And look at all that red up there. You're not going to catch that. And if you do diamond hand through that, I guarantee you the 9 other times you do, you're going to lose. You're going to get your ass kicked. So that was really, and this was my main big recovery trade here. Again, calmed myself down. I'll go back over here because I want to show you this on the 15-minute where I actually took this entry and I was, like I said, able to completely recover. I put an arrow on the 15-minute chart right in here. As this candle closed in the green, that's where I took the long position from right there. Again, wished I'd have loosened a little more, relaxed with my stops, but I just got burned for trying to be relaxed with my stops. So I was really trying to make sure that I made sure to take home something from that and recover something. And that one move was almost 50% of my loss. So it was really hard for me to not move my stop there very quickly for that recovery. So that is where that goes. Anyway, that is pretty much my trades for the day. I did, like I said, I took another one. Okay, so short in here, long in here. Okay, so long up here, failed. Short down here, got a recovery. Stopped out for a profit here. This one, long into here, stopped out for a profit on this one, then came back for the break of this resistance here. Also profitable there. Tried to go long again, and just before power hour got stopped out for a small profit. So again, I went from being about $600 down to only being about 400 or it's not even that, from only being about $180, $200 down. So kind of right in there. So I'm very pleased with my recovery. Again, not pleased with this trade. I'm not even sure what I was thinking, what was going on there. I will be focusing on this first trade a little bit to see what was I thinking. It was absolute FOMO, and I was not thinking. I really wasn't. It was completely asinine that I did that. Anyway, that is, again, I don't know entirely if I can stop that other than just when Powell's talking, not trade. Normally I don't. I wasn't sure about today because it's not standard FOMC. If it had been, FOMC, I'm pretty religious about not trading that. So, no. Anyway, that's going to do it for me and the show. Russell Journal, written and hosted by me, Russell Liss, and we're produced by Social Media Shows. Executive producer is Maria Pereza. And until tomorrow, try and help me come up with a catchphrase.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located on Silverado Ranch, here in Henderson, Nevada. Restore, relax, and refresh. Let's not forget our very own Meryl and Merrick comedy show. This fun, comical TV sitcom duo with Social Media Shows Network loves to make you laugh. Mahel Empire Productions. It's a filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Founded by Michael and Sonny Mahal, and are dedicated to making feature films. Turn your power on with Broken Bulb Productions. Owned by Russell Rapp, an independent filmmaker based out of New Jersey. This show is brought to you by, let's not forget, our very own GI Connections. It's a nonprofit organization that connects veterans with resources. We're also proud to recognize Colorlific Arts with Sonia Scott. Painting is the expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. Let's not forget Matoma Environmental Technologies. Global research, development, and manufacturing of innovative photocatalytic products. Our show is also brought to you by Carmelo Rodriguez, who is the author of a best-selling book called Smile. It's based on true events. It's the story of a couple building a family. Get your copy of his book at Amazon today. We also love our musicians. Think about Frank's Tribute, an all-star band. It's a Green Bay-based band with Let Me Be Frank's Productions, family owned by Frank Hermans, who happens to be a veteran entertainer.